Hey guys, Leo from JDMuscle here, and today we're going to show you how to install a brand new steering wheel on your 2023 Plus Nissan Z. Installing on our shop Z, I have a custom one made by JDMuscle. Holding in my hand, I have the Razor Spec style with the carbon fiber and 2x2 weave gloss finish top and bottom. On the two sides, they're finished in black smooth leather with blue stitching matching our interior. On the top of the steering wheel, you'll notice a white stripe that's matching the exterior of our car. These wheels are made to order and available in a variety of different styles, colors, materials, and finishes. So be sure to check it out on our website. Tools used includes impact wrench, a torque wrench, needle nose plier, a trim removal tool, Phillips head screwdriver, a 10mm wrench, 19mm socket, and an Allen key. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight into the installation. The process starts with first removing the airbag. As a safety precaution, we highly recommend to disconnect the battery first. And as another round of precaution, please lower both sides of your window in case you need to open and close the door during the installation, because without the battery, your window is at risk of being shattered as you close the door. And first, you want to pop the hood by reaching this lever located near your footwell on the driver's side. Moving to the front side of the car, you want to reach in from here, lift it up on this lever so the hood can be lifted. Use this stand and place it into this hole so the hood will stay right here. Then you want to hop over to this section where the battery locates. You want to press on these two tabs to remove the cover. Set it aside and use the 10mm wrench to loosen up this negative terminal here by rotating it counterclockwise. And once this becomes loose, you can pull it straight up. And you can use a towel to place it in between so they don't accidentally re-engage. Now we can move into the inside of the car. To give you guys a better and clearer view, I have the airbag already removed. Essentially, there's 3 spots you need to hit. This is the airbag. It's the bottom tab, which you're going to use maybe an Allen key. There's gonna be a hole located right here. You need to poke it through. It's gonna be at an angle for the top one slightly towards you, and just push it right up. This will release this portion of the airbag from the steering wheel. On the two sides, they're held on by these 2 springs, which are held on by the clips. You're going to want your steering wheel to be sideways. On the back of it, you're gonna find a small hole. You literally just need to poke it through there. And notice how it came through this small hole in the front of it. You just wanna poke it just enough. Here, this is about the length you're going after. You're going to poke it through, then lift it this way. Notice how the full spring or clip here moves to this direction. You're gonna press it down this way, so this will release the airbag. And you wanna do the same thing for the other side as well. Now here's a very good view from behind the steering wheel on how to remove the airbag. These 2 other holes you wanna poke through, and the bottom one. I'm gonna start off with poking the bottom one. Notice how it's held on by this tab located right here. You poke it up and release it from the bottom side. On the 2 top side, insert it in here and bring it to the middle. Release this end and over here for the other. Now, because of the limited space, I have the yellow one previously removed. I'm gonna use the orange one as a quick example. All you need to do is use a pick tool. There's gonna be a little slot located closer end of the wire. I'm gonna insert the pick tool and just pry it up. Once this is released, you should be able to pull the whole thing easily up. The ground wire, you should be able to pull it up as well. Now you can carefully remove the airbag. Now we can work on removing these two plugs from the clock spring. A needle plier will be super convenient in this application. You literally just have to clamp it. So we press down on this end of the plug to release it, then pull it straight out. Once the two plugs are released, we can work on this center bolt, which is a 19mm. You can either use an impact gun or a longer extended wrench using the 19mm. Now just give it a couple turns so you have a little room to wiggle, and you want to wiggle as you pull the wheel towards you to release it. Once the wheel comes loose from the clock spring, you can carefully untwist the bolt. Set the bolt aside and carefully pull the steering wheel out while fishing these two wires through the hole. Now you can grab maybe a masking tape and keep the clock spring at position just in case it rotates on you. Now we can move over to the table and transfer all the stock electronics over to the new steering wheel. Now with the wheel removed, we can work on transferring all the trim pieces as well as the buttons to the new wheel. A couple tips here. For the manual model, you can actually start off with removing the back cover, move to this section, then the middle trim. For automatic, unfortunately, we'll have to do this first, then this trim, then you get expose you to two locations right around these two areas. You're gonna have two screws held the pedals, unscrew it, remove it, then the back cover. Note, everything is held on by tabs, but unfortunately, some of them are really stubborn. My recommendation would be either find a shop to do it for you or take your time. In this very case of a donor wheel that we received, these four tabs are actually came broken. Note, the whole trim and the buttons are one piece, which are held down by these tabs on the top and these at the bottom. You want to take your time, use a prior tool, release it from the back cover and pull it straight up. Don't do it at an angle, pull it straight up. And use a prior tool and get as close to these two areas as possible to lift it straight up as well to decrease the possibility of breaking them. This lower section, I have this piece from a donor wheel. Unfortunately here are broken, but essentially they're held on by these three tabs around that area and two at the bottom. The technique here is you want to try to pry it up and lift it straight up instead of doing it at an angle, which you are prone to break it. These airbag covers are fairly easy to remove. Essentially, they're held on by these tabs around the edge of the cover. You just need to push it down, use a flathead screwdriver, and poke it through and over the other side. Now with the screwdriver inserted in, grab a couple zip ties and you can fish it through at the same spot. Remove the screwdriver and work your way around all the access points until everything is kind of held on by this, and behind this cover you should be able to pull it straight out. And then you can put the new cover on and it should snap right in. All right, moving back to the vehicle, you want to untape the clock spring. Keep it exactly where it is with the white knob at noon. For future reference, if you're installing an LED steering wheel, you could use the two pins from this slot here. The top one and the bottom one, both are 12 volt. Do not use the third one from the bottom here. That's for the horn. Carefully fish through the two wires for the airbag. Now, notice right here, there's gonna be a little notch on the wheel and on the steering column at the same time. You want the two lines to line up. Push it in, make sure there's no play, then you can start tightening it, the center nut. You want to finger tighten it first, then you can use a torque wrench. Around 35 to 40 feet-pound is more than enough. It should be good to go. Once the wheel is torqued down, you can connect these plugs on the two sides. Now moving on to the airbag cover. Going to match up with the color here. Clip them in. The wire will be closer to the CE mark, so it's actually the other way around. Push it down, clip it in. The same thing for the orange side. And connect the plug for the horn. Twist it back, align the clipping points, push them back in, and you should be good to go. We're gonna come back to the engine bay and reconnect the negative terminal. We're gonna do it in a quick and consistent fashion. And if you hear your horn start sounding, you probably didn't clip it in correctly. Twist it and tighten it till it's snug. Reinstall the cover. Insert that side first. And that's a wrap for today's video. Comment below and let us know what you think about the new wheel. We'll see you in the next episode.